Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I figured I would do something a little bit different this week and share with you 10 just cool symmetric diminished patterns that I figured out over the years. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to play all 10 of the patterns up to speed first with the notation on the screen, and then at the end of the video I'll go through each one at a time up close so you can see some of the fingerings that I'm doing. Alright, cool, let's get started. Also, just a quick reminder, all of these are notated for the guitar, which is a transposing instrument. So if you're playing these on a horn or anything that's not a guitar, it's going to sound an octave higher than how I'm playing it. So just a heads up. All right, here we go. Okay, here is the first one. So we're going to start in the third position. All this is it's just major arpeggios descending in minor thirds, just a pattern within the arpeggio. It's a pretty typical thing of the diminished scale. So we're starting with B flat, so. Alright, this one is pretty cool. All this is it's two half steps, a tritone apart. So just think of this. Think of G to A flat, right? That's a half step. And then you go down a tritone, D to D flat. So those are two half steps, a tritone apart. And you just take that idea and you just move it down in minor thirds. So then we get... I like this next one. I use this next one a lot. I figured this one out because I noticed that a lot of people like to do major arpeggios and tritones when you're doing half-whole diminished stuff, which is a really cool sound. Right, really common diminished sound. But then I noticed in the half-whole diminished you can also do minor arpeggios off of those same notes. So I took that idea and I switched them just to minor arpeggios. So we have G minor and C sharp minor, and I'm just going through the closest inversions. Alright, this next one is kind of more of a saxophony type of a pattern. It kind of has a lot of slurring and creates kind of that sheet of sound effect, but I figured out a way to slur it on the guitar to kind of achieve that kind of sound. So let me do it fast so I can figure out what the picking is. Okay, so it's... yeah, it's minimal picking. So the pattern, all you're doing is this. It's just starting up in the 7th position. I only picked the very first note. So basically, whenever I switch strings, I'm just picking the first note when I switch strings, so I get... then I move the same. I'm always leading with my pinky. This next one is also more of a saxophone-y type of a pattern. It involves a lot of up sweeps, just mostly upward sweeping with the pick. So hopefully I can do this one. So the shape, it's just one shape. It's like a G, so F sharp, D flat, B flat, G, and I'm going. So I'm starting. It's a three sweep. So I'm going. And I'm doing two upstrokes, or sorry, three upstrokes, and then when I come back down, I do it down. I always like that sound. I like doing the down on the way back because I feel like it gives it a little bit more drive. So we got. This is one I stole from Michael Brecker. I heard him play this a lot, and it's really similar to what we were talking about before, those minor arpeggios. So not only can they work in tritones, they can work in minor thirds. So he's going like this. So same tonality, but another sweepy thing. This one starts with an upstroke. So I'm doing a B flat minor arpeggio starting on the flat third. So down and then three ups. They're just moving down minor thirds, typical diminished, you know. This finger is kind of weird. This is E minor. I'm going my pinky on the G, then my middle finger on the E, pointer finger on the B, and then middle finger on the G again. So I'm going. This next one is really cool, and I got this one from Joe DiOrio, who's an incredible jazz guitar player. If you've never heard of him, highly recommend looking him up. He was very ahead of his time, was doing a lot of crazy modern intervallic stuff way before other people were doing it. Did a lot of crazy stretchy chords. I can't say enough good things about him. I highly recommend checking him out if you've never heard of him. So this is just major sevenths moving up in minor thirds, which also lines up in our diminished scale. So it starts with... This one is great for the picking too because there's so much string skipping too. Alright, this next one I came up with just by taking that idea we were talking about with the major arpeggios going up in minor thirds. But I noticed that the flat 9 can also work on all those arpeggios, so I turned them all into a major arpeggio with a flat 9. So starting with G, so the fingering is... So I'm only picking each string, the first, every other note. Alright, this next one is based off of two arpeggios, a tritone apart, once again, G major and C sharp major, but I arranged the note, I spread the voicing, so I'm getting these. So spread arpeggios rather than just going right up 1, 3, 5. And then I'm doing the next closest inversions through that, but I'm alternating, I'm going down one, up the other, so I get this. Even if you don't want to use these when you're playing, these are a great just exercise just for visualizing, you know, arpeggios in different, you know, fingering positions. All right, this last one is a set of fourths that line up within the diminished scale. The first one is a tritone, and the second one is a perfect fourth. And you can take these 3 notes and move them up in minor thirds, which sounds cool. And keep in mind, whenever you're doing any of these patterns, if you have multiple notes that are on different strings, so you're not playing multiple notes on the same strings, you can turn all these into chords. So if you like that kind of sound, that's also an option with any of these. All right, that was all 10 of them. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get some use out of these different patterns. I'm planning on doing a lot of different videos like this, so if there's any specific topics you'd like me to cover in any sort of future videos, please leave some suggestions in the comment section. I will do my best to see if I can accommodate everyone. And yeah, like and subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff. And thanks again for watching, and I will see you for the next one. All right, thanks. Take care.